Welcome back, my friends. Casual Duelist here. And hopefully you guys already got a chance to see my Lightsworn deck profile because this is the combos video and the test hands for it. If you haven't, maybe pause, go to my channel, find that, watch it, then come back. If not, whichever. You can watch it after this. See which cards actually got it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a couple of test hands, and I'm going to actually break down a couple of the plays that I tend to see more often in my hands. So I've been shuffling this for probably like 5 minutes now. Hopefully I don't get the usual, I already had this thing organized, stacked draws. But I mean, it is what it is, right? So let's go ahead and give that a cut. Let's go with test hand number 1. So I like to always practice with this going second. You guys can definitely practice going first as well. Sometimes the hands are going to be different, and sometimes not so much. So right there is a going first. It's not terrible. It has some plays. If you're going second, you'll have Twilight Shaman as well. So let's go ahead and play that out. Honestly, looking at this right off the rip, I have 2 bricks that can't summon, so I have to go to charge, and I'm going to hope that charge is going to give us a decent mill. So again, with charge, we got to send the top 3, and that is going to be my JD, my Lumina, and oh wow, my Levineer. Okay, so basically we're going to go through the deck and we're going to try to pick who we think is going to be best. So again, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Lumina because it's going to be our Reborn here. I'm going to shuffle this here real quick. And the reason that we need Lumina on going second is we will be able to actually bank some plays here. Now, we're going to have to summon into something. Chances are this might be just one of those turns where we have to accept that the brick happened. And if your opponent's got a decent board position, this is a perfect time to show off Black Rose Dragon. And the easiest way to do this right now, we do have the Twilight Shaman sitting in the discard pile. So we actually have valid target for Lumina, which means we're going to be able to then stack it like that. Summon your Lumina, discard 1 card. You're going to discard Fellas because you're going to want to choose Fellas. This is going to leave these 4 cards in your hand, and this is going to allow you to go into your Black Rose and detonate the field. So again, any and all work that your opponent just put in, probably gone. And now we need to be able to play our Pot of Avarice. So what are the best choices here? Well, you don't want to see Levineer Dragon in there too many times. Black Rose is fine because it's not actually going to add anything back to our deck. So we're going to do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll take her back out. So that'll be our 5. Now, again, we get to shuffle those back into the deck and see what the draw 2 will give us. And again, if it's not like solar recharge or something, I'm not sure how exactly we're going to be able to benefit right now because, again, we just wiped the field. So let's try it. Gareth and Raiden. So, okay, we could set up for like the next turn-ish. You're out of plays for the round. So again, kind of bricked. And then again, if you would be able to survive the next round, you're going to get your Trick Clown. Again, just kind of another semi-brick. Again, we don't have anything banished right now, so there's not that. Best move here is probably just playing Raiden and trying your mill 2. Getting a Trick Clown, getting Lila. So we do get a 200 power bonus, whichever. And then we can pay the life points to summon the Trick Clown. It's not actually pay, it's an inflict. And again, if your opponent has now built a board and you did survive that last round, we could develop into the Scarlet Red Dragon, go ahead, blow the field up from the opponent's supposedly special summon cards. They're going to take a lot of damage from those cards, and then we're going to be able to start mounting an assault. And again, our hand isn't looking too bad moving forward from that. So that's one test hand that's, again, I would normally consider that to be a flop. But again, this is casual duelist. We're trying to play these a little more casually, not exactly at a regional strength. So with your friends, you probably just won. Unless your friends are insanely good. Which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead and get a couple more shuffles over here. Alright, cut the deck. And see what we get. So let's go second for sure. Start off with Raigeki, Charge, Shaman, Levianeer, Wolf. Wolf is a little upsetting, but not exactly a problem. Our draw for the turn will be Avarice, which is great because we are going to be able to start. If the opponent has some control monsters that might mess us up, we're going to go ahead and play the Raigeki first. Then we're going to go into our Charge. Off Charge, we're going to lose Charge, Recharge, and Breakthrough skill somehow. We're going to get to go ahead and tutor 1. We have no legal targets for Lumina. Best shot here might actually just be Raiden. You guys pick a way to say how to name them, and I'll just stick with it. Looking through, yeah, it's really just going to be Raiden. So then we get to add that to our hand, summon, shuffle the deck a little bit, see what we don't get on a mill. Okay, so I'm going to get Instant Fusion and Wolf. Instant Fusion will be gone, unfortunate. Wolf will summon to field. And again, if we just dealt away with their the opponent's monsters, we don't really have the desire to play into our Boral Savage. We don't have the ability to play our Avarice yet. So we get a couple moves. We could actually go into Tsukiyomi and see what that'll do for us. And if we do, it'd be best to set the Avarice. So let's try the Tsukiyomi route once. So we go into that. And then again, once per turn, detach material, drop our hand. So we're going to be dropping these guys. Again, since this wasn't sent from deck, it's not really going to matter. And then again, we get to draw 2 cards. So we're going to get Fellis. We're going to get Breakthrough Skill. We are 1 card short. 1 card short of being able to play Avarice. However, we can go ahead. We can throw that Breakthrough down. So that's with our Avarice. We've got our Lightsworn, our Lightsworn Archer. Unfortunately, that's not a quick effect, so we can't do that during the opponent's turn. He's probably going to get rocked. If we need the Breakthrough skill, we can activate it. We can go ahead and negate 1 monster's effect during that turn. And then again, during our own turn again, we make it through that turn. We get the Levianeer. Again, kind of a tricky play. I would probably just go ahead and snap my hand. Get to 2 cards, assuming that Tsukiyomi lived. Got these. You might as well recharge. Draw 2, mill 2. Okay, we'll be able to inflict 1,000. Go for your Trick Clown. You'll be able to Avarice. I would leave Lumina in there for sure. Definitely pull back our Chaos cards. No JDs were sent yet. Let's go with Fellis, Wolf. So that's going to keep 4 names in our discard pile. Should we get Judgment Dragon to our hand, and again, we still have a Recharge and a Plague Spreader in our hand, with no normal summon having been conducted. I really thought I shuffled this enough. It did not do this during the playtest. Oh well, so it goes, right? Okay, draw our 2. Got Charge, which is good. We got Fellis, which is not. Gonna go ahead and send the Phallus for the recharge. So we'll draw 2, drop 2. Got the Mage, got Lumina, throw Wolf, summon Wolf, throw JD, lose JD. So we're gonna start building our board up. Then you can do your charge. Mill 3, find 1. Lila, Lumina, and Zephyros. Zephyros is fine because we'll be able to do something there. Again, we can go ahead and grab that Lumina out of our deck. So actually, this one turned out not to be a terrible hand. But again, it all hinged on whether or not the Tsukuyomi made it through the last turn. So again, now we can summon Lumina. Lumina can discard for Lumina. We need to start dealing with the field as it is. So just kind of pick the route you want to go. If you're trying to set up a big control, or if you're trying to go for the swing. If you want to go for the swing, I'd suggest the Boral Sword. At which point we can go ahead and we just take all 4 of these. Play your Boral Sword up top. Again, we still have that Lumina. We can discard the Plague Spreader to bring back the last Lumina. And again, this Lumina now has the effects. So now you can decide whether or not it's more advantageous to have a specific card out of the discard pile. Or again, maybe you want to create another 8-star. And you can actually board the Plague Spreader by his own effect, putting the Trick Clown onto the top of your deck, knowing that if we leave these alone, we are going to be milling cards. At which point, he's kind of dead because we already used his effect this round. But we could easily put up Scarlet Red Dragon and do that right here and right now. So that's kind of cool. Again, the main combinations in this deck is actually really just like Lumina being able to perform that effect, making sure that there is a valid target somewhere in the discard pile for you. Like that's just huge. The whole instant fusion. And again, if you think that you're going to end up playing through hand traps, you're going to go to restrict. Millennium Eyes, sorry. If not, you're going to use Thousand Eyes. And again, Thousand Eyes will let us get any card, usually out of their extra zone. And then what we're going to want to do, because again, people tend to play behind their extra zones the way that I do, we'll be able to go ahead and link 1 into Anima. And use Anima to then go ahead and get a second vacuum up. So like the instant fusion play is actually very fun to me. But not entirely necessary. With the amount of links I play, of course, I wanted Savage Dragon in here. The Minerva, again, just has great play both ways. My favorite tech is actually Scarlet Red Dragon. Again, being able to destroy monsters that were special summoned equal to or less than his own attack, and then burning the opponents. There's a lot of field wipes. Again, we could have extended one more time by bouncing one of these Luminas to my hand. And again, what you do is you bounce the one that was already summoned to continue that play that I kind of bailed on. You could do that, have this Lumina discard for this Lumina, and you could still then put that one last card that you had, that Trick Clown, back onto the top of your deck to go ahead and develop the zombie. So if you guys had chosen to go a different route, something that you would have been able to do is, again, you wouldn't be able to play Minerva in that moment, but to go next to that Boral Sword that was already developed. Again, if you had Appaloosa, this could work. But again, you could also just like take out the mill cards, go ahead and vacuum into IP Masquerain, and then we still have options to play on our opponent's turn, whether or not we want to go into, well, you wouldn't go into Unicorn at that point, but you could go into the Underworld Goddess and threaten taking one of your opponent's cards in a very kaiju-esque manner. So again, there's a lot of interplay with what you can do once cards are in the discard. But again, this is going to be a lot of fun on the casual tables, playing at your locals. I don't really expect this build to do much in the way of regional performance. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you didn't already check out the deck profile, you might want to. It's kind of cool. And again, if it helps, consider subscribing to the channel. Making lots of decks. I try to make 2 masterclass decks a week. Lately, because I've been working on something for Speed Duel, I've been doing these fantasy builds. Those are kind of fun. It's really just like a wish list for Konami. Like, hey, if we are continuing, I noticed that there's like no product release anytime soon. If we are going to continue Speed Duels, like, these are some ways to do it. And I am planning a... I'd like to have two. I'd like to have a fantasy build for you guys next week. I'm going to. But I'd also like to get that side project taken care of. It's actually really competitive. And again, I feel like you guys deserve that. It's been a couple weeks since we've done anything with the real cards for Speed Duel. So very cool. And I also want to do some other fun decks next week. So see you guys on the next video and have a great day. Later.